Sarah, and I'm more than you think I am. I live in a black neighborhood by choice and have lived here for the last 15 years. My family and I moved here because we have a strong belief in the oneness of mankind, that we need to reunite in the neighborhoods and grow and work together for unity. So when we first moved here, though, it was quite difficult for me, even though I didn't know it. My heart was in it, but then I think I carried stereotypes with me from the media, from what I'd heard from other people, what I'd grown up around, because I grew up in an all-white area and lived that way for 40-something years. So it was a big decision that we would bring our 3 children, my husband and I, to what's considered a black neighborhood. So when we first moved in, things seemed to go well. But then my husband went on a trip for a weekend and left me alone in the home with the 3 boys. And I couldn't sleep that first night. Every little noise, I thought someone was breaking in or something would happen to us, not sure what, but I had a great anxiety. So after that night went by, nothing happened. The next night, I slept very well and have ever since. And I've grown to understand that these neighborhoods for me are safe and a comfortable place to be, and a warm, friendly community spirit that I haven't found in a lot of other neighborhoods. So I'm happy to be here and happy that my children and my husband and I have had this experience of learning to relax and be comfortable with people of different colors. So another challenge that came up was when our boys were going to school. We moved in the summer, and then we had already chosen in May which schools they would go to. But then as the night before school started, I was having a conversation with my oldest son, who was going to middle school at that time. And I said, you know, we really don't have to do this. And I was the one that was feeling a little bit worried and scared. But he said, Mama, if we don't, then who will? So we decided, I decided that it was his choice too, and that he was comfortable with that. And as the years went by and things came up that weren't so comfortable, I found that people in our community were anxious to get to know us and to help us become more integrated into the culture here. So if I had to go to the school, if he was being bullied, and I had to go talk to the administration about that, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy thing. And some of my friends, especially black friends, says, well, I would take him out of that school. You know, that's prejudice. And I could tell he was becoming a little depressed by it all. But when I went to the school, I found wonderful support. And what the administration realized there, that so many of these children, these students, hadn't been to school with white students before, and they just didn't know how to act. So in that process, my son became very well integrated into the school. It was a wonderful school. He got a good education. When the choice came which college to go to, he was admitted into the state university, which had high standards. And he had good enough grades to get in, but when he made his visit, he came back home and said, I don't like that school, Mama. There's not enough diversity there. I don't want to go there. So I was okay with that. He went to a state university that was inner city. He got a wonderful degree, a wonderful opportunity to travel, and ended up with a very good job and a very good future. So we were all happy about that. Cut. Another thing I've realized is that as soon as I became comfortable with other people, they became comfortable with me. When I went to the grocery store, I was very uncomfortable. I would look around and be the only white person there. So that was uncomfortable at first because I'd really come from a white community. And so I just went ahead and got my groceries and left. But something happened after a few months, and I guess it was just being familiar and comfortable and people being comfortable with me, that I found that if I were comfortable with them, they were comfortable with me. So now I enjoy going to the store and seeing my neighbors and speaking. I think there's a lot more of camaraderie going on than I see in other communities. So I enjoy being with my community in all walks of life, and realize that when I was comfortable with them, then they became more comfortable with me and more accepting. So, I'm Sarah. I'll start that again. I'm Sarah, and my story challenges society's stereotypes about people like me.